It goes without saying that I consider F-Zero GX to be the greatest racing game of all time, but how does the machine creation hold up in comparison to the customization features found in other games? F-Zero GX was not the first game in the series to include this feature, as it appeared previously in F-Zero X. This feature would only be accessible via the F-Zero X expansion pack, which was only available in Japan. Therefore, F-Zero GX would be the first time many would be able to create their own machines in the game's garage, which is an awesome feature for sure, but how awesome is it? Let's find out. So first off, in terms of ease of use, creating a machine in F-Zero GX can be done in a matter of seconds. All you need to do is select 3 parts to combine together and you are basically done. Anyone can make a machine in F-Zero GX without putting any effort into making one. The only thing people may have trouble doing is creating emblems. Now there are some preset emblems you can use for your machine, if you so choose, but it is highly encouraged to create your own via the emblem creator. Trouble is that if you have zero artistic skill, then you are going to have a hard time making these emblems look presentable. If F-Zero GX was released on PC, then it could have had the option to import images, but sadly, this is not the case. Ultimately, I would give the ease of use a solid B. Aside from the emblems, it's pretty straightforward and easy to put a machine together. Next we have features, and this is where F-Zero GX's machine creation is lacking. There are only 3 parts you can change: the cockpit, the body and the booster. You can also apply up to 3 colours for each part, as well as 4 emblems, and that's about it. Sadly, I will have to give this an E rating, as there aren't enough features to justify a higher rating. By winning the Grand Prix, players are rewarded with tickets that they can use to spend in the F-Zero shop to purchase new machine parts. There aren't many of them at first, but you can unlock more by playing the game and overcoming some of the game's tough challenges. Getting parts like the Silver Sword is like a badge of honour, as they require you to beat some of the story chapters on hard mode. Others come easily, like the Titan G4, which you get by beating novice difficulty. The selection overall is adequate, but I think that there should be a lot more on offer, especially considering that some parts are difficult to get, so most players won't be able to access them unless they use an action replay, as the game is notoriously difficult. The selection of emblems is extremely limited as well, though due to the emblem creation tool, this isn't a problem if you are able to create your own. Overall, I give this a C. It's not bad, but I think that they really should improve this if they ever make a new F-Zero game. Aesthetically speaking, the custom machines stick out like a sore thumb. They look like cheap knockoff toys compared to the standard machines. The multicoloured machines in particular look really weird, though you could choose to paint each part the same colour, which I recommend since it would make the machine look so much better if you ask me. Sadly, I will have to give this a D rating. The custom machines just don't blend in well with the regular machines at all, though thankfully you can apply emblems to the regular machines if you wish to. Now it's pretty obvious that the machines you make are going to be used for racing. You can use your custom machines in Grand Prix, time trials, versus and practice modes. However, you cannot use them in story mode. Each machine comes with a stat associated with it which defines how the machine performs and controls. For example, an A booster is very powerful but consumes a lot more energy, whereas an E booster is very weak but doesn't consume much energy by comparison. A cockpits lose less speed on corners, whereas E cockpits lose more speed on corners. The weight dictates the cornering ability of the machine, as a lightweight machine is able to corner much easier than a heavyweight machine. There's a bit of nuance here, since certain machines have their own quirks, like being unable to drift, but having great slide potential. Body is the most straightforward, with A body being the most durable, while E body being the most frail. However, the A bodies are considerably more heavier than E bodies, which can affect the speed of the machine. Skilled players will find a use for both machines, as heavier machines tend to be used for snaking, while lighter machines can be used for space flying. Most players will stick with medium machines as they are considerably easier to use. Put simply, custom machines play a huge part in high-level play, as they often have the most potential out of every machine in the game. Some machines will be better than others, and some machines will be completely useless bricks that you can barely turn. I suppose if you want to handicap yourself, then it's plausible to make those machines, but if you want to actually win, you really need to be careful with what parts you use to make the machines. Overall, I will give this an A rating. Machine creation plays a huge role in F-Zero GX, but only skilled players will be able to experience its true potential. For everyone else, it's a nice distraction to give you a break from all of the high-speed action. Finally, we have limitations. The biggest downside to the garage is that each machine takes up a memory card block, and you can only have 4 machines per memory card. This is fine if you have several memory cards, but if you only have one, then you are limited to 4 machines. Emblems also take up memory card blocks, but you can create as many as you want on a single memory card. Additionally, any regular machine with emblems applied will also take up a memory card block, so it may not be worth doing if you want to create lots of machines. The names are all automated, so you don't have to worry about character limits, but you don't get to choose the name. I will have to give this an E rating since you don't really get many spaces for machines. So as you can see, F-Zero GX's creative options aren't the best. I do think that it's great to have this feature in the game though, and it does make the F-Zero experience so much better both gameplay wise and personalisation wise. Regardless of my ratings, this game is a masterpiece and you absolutely should play this game. I just think that a lot of people overlook the creative features that this game has, and honestly it should be seen as an additional incentive for you to give this game a go, because not every racing game will allow you to customise your vehicles,